Kwa basunko ena medema etifo enyina sabre yebebo era ensem no emu ensem editi ewo man Ghana eno ene pepense mu ediama etifo.
What's happening?
I went out to visit one of the collective centers, which is Iron City. I went to step to Christ first. I realized that there was a VA, which is Hawa VA, with the boys, Tima, and the rest. The same boys I complained about. They have followed me and they have shot one of my guys. In fact, they shot at my car several times.
I see. And what's the situation there where you are now?
One guy is dead. It is so peaceful. Obviously, when someone is dead, how can it be peaceful? How can it be calm? There's a dead person lying down there. I want to say I killed someone. He wants to take my life, and he has killed someone and injured another. What is the police doing about it?
Phyllis, how do you know that this V8 that pursued you is from your opponent, Hawa Koomson? Hello, Phyllis. Phyllis.
I know it is your opponent because I know the car. I know the boys as well. This is not the first time the boys are coming to Kaswa. They have been to Kaswa before. They were in Kaswa 2020, and they were the same people who attacked me.
Phyllis, are you safe where you are right now? Can you hear me, Phyllis?
I am not saying my life is in danger. My life is in danger, and the lives of my entire family. The lives of my entire family is in danger as we speak.
Phyllis, have you reported this incident to the police yet?
Yes, I have.
What action has been taken by the police?
Whether I want to like it or not, I have taken her out. Whether she likes it or not, I have won the election. And not
Phyllis, let's calm tempers. We'll wait for the election in Ewutu Senya East to be declared by the Electoral Commission. In the meantime, I'm asking you, what action did the police take when you reported to them?
They haven't taken any action yet. Right now, I'm struggling. There are two people lying down, struggling for their life. One is dead. The other two is very serious issue.
Afimpinu eni aduonu na ya batwa ye to wo magimuo no eni baby a o manfo boja de nipa sode ye na wo frika so aton bedu cantonment police station ebe hihye ka akoba be hihye niema wo hono mo se wo mra hye badwani na akoyo sabre no onye mra hye badwani no ye candidate ya no wo fresh wo bewura mra hye badwam na ade hye yi se no o mate se ya kire na akoyo de na akohye wono mo na sempanimfu mpanimfu anyano a enya sempapa sabra ye se ene etuo ho nsem ene wo mu a ne beto odwase na akoyo wo ba Phyllis na akoyo se ye beto abanu mu abato no koso no nipa bi sabra nkwa de no wo se mra hye badwani a no wo te so sabra no Hawa Koomson ena ne metofo abeto ahye ne so abe attack no brofo a na ewomu no ya attack no eti ne ba ye amanfo di twobo ye ya chese na nya gro na sa asem no esi ye no ya to abawie na penchen si a se ye nhwehwemu wom ti na soafo a wo hwe o meye fi semba mboso Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak en wo akopie mu ewo empanimfo anim no mu bisa no se papa ya to abawie bosumi esenie ye kwa afi mu an ye keka koi ni esi wa abato no mpesa wuduo bi so ya na ebi se ye bebowo ebi si ye bekume ebi si aina Hawa Koomson ne metwofo ene o mo beto ahye me so wa ye nhwehwemu se interior minister na hwehwemu a wo ye no die ne wahuo wo da wutu senya isi die ne kire ye mu ewo wono mo asemi mu ena nne soafo Alhaji Muntaka Mubarak de atudwa se wo bia da wonda na wutu senya Easter samwa na akoyo mra hye badwani de betu dwa se enko manfo bi ya ba attack no sa abrofo no obeka ye no wo ma twena sa wo ba bra na bebua na nhwehwemu no entumi enkoso ne enwu omo a sa abrofo so mba attack wo no mba wo so wo se na akoyo mpusu no a wabone motoam gongon moto mu gongon adanya wose an obia ma attack no obia ma attack no attack bia ma no so na minister se nyi wonu nko wo so omo ano omo kan wo omo te sa kai kro no am omo se ye beto hye wo musumu wo fire we ya wo ma wo fire we ya wo ma wo fire wo bia wo ma na de yentie minister mra
2024 election violence cases starting with Ewutu Senya East constituency, that's Kaswa. The task force observed that the Honorable Phyllis now Koyo Okeno denied that her convoy was attacked. She was nowhere near the scene of the incident. Persons who were involved in the incident have avoided speaking with the task force, while Muhammad Ali and others who were in the Mahindra pickup truck and fired shots from their vehicle have also avoided speaking with the task force. So their opinion have not been established. Muhammad Ali is said to have been flown abroad for further treatment. The late Yusuf Larry Idris died from a gunshot, and those who were in the Mahindra pickup with him know what happened. The driver of the Mahindra has been traced and further investigation is ongoing. The task force will continue with the investigation.
Abusia eni awuti ye alaji muntaka mubara swafo ohwo mayi ya fisem bambo so nwo kiremu se wo matwena akwa atwena wo ba bra beboa na nhwehwemu nkoso afedie wo se obi a ma ne so enti gya dede nu obo ye wa bra ne ye to abade ye temekro no hawa temekro no wo se nye sa bra nkura wo no ommen ba bi asem ni si ye no enye no kre na asemi na ne ye se ye nkomu ye betu aba ye to aba na so obi ekekam obi bosa gya dede ne se ye temekro no ye de etuo simisuo na se ne wo kase da bi nye sa na te a wo mramu no de na tumi asie na lawyer ni ba ko lawyer agbotenu wo de tudwa se hwe wo de wano kasem na wo de wo se wo ka no ya ye nka no yo efisa sem wo ka ye dom ye pu ye ko police station ye dikai ne atusu mienu sane ye o ma bambofo asode ne odi akire yi na akoyo na we bi mu hunahuna no na bi mu tietia ne fa mu die so o mo ko ye ni nyina se wo boa pa de a ene mranu mu ye wo cross wo mu ebetimi de awe no wo se misleading public officials ba ko ne atusu mienu pa sa wusu obi kumi ni enkun wo eno so ye charges ni bia de entie lawyer agbotemre
ba se yambu anato bia atake una se wo se obi atake wa na se wa bu utim na waka eno no ebremu no ye wo mienu de abu ni de se ono na aye bone na bra onye ye no o civil right obetimi de wa court e wo na kwanso no waka se wo twantro atonosu anato wagu ne ho fi enti court nhwena wo emma on pipasa e de bone na odi atonosu no empo etumi ebo charge anato ebo ka emma wotia ye tosu ni no a police for on say ya me can be cutting fear and panic anato publication of false information and also so meremo no anaso tiamra nti betumi edi wa kodina mra ana court na ya dis accordable publication of misinformation media any criminal no I misdemeanor to the court no ma court charge you publication of false information and that person fear and panic means associated from 1 day to 3 years maximum.
Abusia lawyer nda kasa no lawyer agbotenu watene nka no na wo de oba Facebook YouTube asabre na asemu amekai video enyira na social media daworoma wo ya na so kwotena so na aka na ye betimi yi de hwe sabre na dompa ko cantonment police station no video na damu no na nya so mo kokogina wo kekewo ebi wo so aprosifuo gate ebi shika akoba adan ya wo mse na akoyo se ehwe anya nwe wo se hwe anya ntiro ya kiremu se so agoguru ho na asemu ekokoto pa na be kirem na se ne wo pupu ne to kwa kire no wo yese na mboa emfie mienso agoguru ho a obekom video yi edemo se kadanse ya mpanifo de bekro ho a na awutu senya is constituency panina wo ginamuo e de ama MPP amanyoko no Michael Aden wodi atudwa se mahu mu a mo hye dabo sudwetire e kan samu akese egu Hawa Koomson animu ase e ma maami ya ne poto mu a wodi ntwo no wo se mu na munie ni asie mu na munie wo de entie mra
yenim de obetinya ya ne de ontine ye na ya ka se ipa bonifo bi atanhye maami se pese omogu ne ma tinti ye onye ye kra no so waye nti ya de anya ye won se interior ministry and also interior minister e de ba bonje se ehihemu o maye so far no interesse asema na koyo ekra na anu no nokure bia wu nti ya de yenim se nokure di nim dada na minister so asa abesusu bia se nokure bi nim nti asida na edbe manyame na ya sere minister se omuntu anamo enumenim ya na investigation ni na no omunfa mbre ye na nokure no bi e wo no yemfa embeto na ye position so atuja nti your options be bra ye bobo
abusuani a wuti ye ya wutu senya is MPP amanyoko no constituency secretary Michael Ade en wo kiremuo de akoso se wanka asemi wanka oba Facebook you hwe kwaku wahu adom ekodi kire sa abre no no moje asem ni di o wo munim se ya nokure nti hwe mampanimfo ebo aboso ko hyehye ka akoba ekotai na akoyo achi ene se ne wayi mu amai
se wo se aboa ne se wakana so onwe wo no anaka wo sa aboa nti we
warning shots as means of crowd control. Investigation into one of the cases during the 2020 general election at Ododo was completed. The Attorney General is currently prosecuting 3 persons who are standing trials at the High Court Criminal Division, Accra. The investigation established that 3 of the cases resulting in 4 deaths are traceable to the use of firearms by armed police patrol teams. Military personnel were also found to be responsible for 3 of the cases resulting in the death of 3 persons when they intervened. The 2 other cases involved persons who were lynched during confrontation between supporters of the 2 major parties. It is worth noting that 21 suspects have been identified through witness interview, scene visit, reconstruction of crime and crime scene, and forensic and ballistic examination of material of evidence relevant to the cases. 11 new dockets have been built on the cases. 4 of the identified suspects have been arrested and admitted to police inquiry bills to facilitate further investigation and to trace their accomplices. 5 other identified suspects have been remanded in prison custody. Warrants of arrest have been procured to facilitate the arrest of some of the identified suspects who are on the run. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, the 2020 investigation reports are as follows. The team has out that appropriate rules of engagement were observed. Security personnel, especially the police patrol teams at the collation center, fired indiscriminately, and in some cases, they directed fire at the escaping crowd. Spent shells could not be retrieved from the scene. As in the case of the Techiman, immediately the day after the election, it rained heavily, and so they couldn't pick much from the scene. And no bullets or projectiles were retrieved from the bodies of the deceased to assist ballistic examination to identify which weapon caused the injuries or death. It made it difficult to bring finality as to who actually caused the injury and death for now. However, investigation will continue until justice is done. The recommendation from the task force was that the crowd control response of security personnel by resorting to the firing of live arms and also directing fire at the escaping crowd is not acceptable. The victims of the gunshots have suffered injuries that caused them pain, loss of resources for treatment, as well as income. Families have also lost breadwinners. The state should take steps the state should take up the responsibility to compensate the families who lost their breadwinners, as well as those who suffered injuries. Police should receive orientation and desist from using lethal force in crowd control situation. Appropriate crowd control gear should be provided to security services. Party executives, officials, and persons involved in election management should be well educated on the provision of the Anti-Vigilante Act 2019 Act 999. Action taken so far on the achievement. The report has been forwarded to the Attorney General for the compensation to be given to the families of the deceased and the injured. Docket of the case is also referred to the court. The person who shot and killed the deceased, Richard Otu and Emmanuel Dompre. However, 3 identified persons by police as those who fired shot into the crowd and injuring them were charged with the offenses of conspiracy to commit murder, contrary to the section 23(1) and 47 of the Criminal Offences Act 1960 Act 29, and attempted murder, contrary to section 48 of the same act. They have been committed and are standing trial at the High Court, Criminal Court 1, Accra. The recommendation of the task force is that the task force recommends monetary compensation to the families of the deceased. The injured must abide by the judgment of the court in the trial, after which compensation, if any, may be determined. So the actions that we've taken so far on this is that same Attorney General for the workout of compensation to the deceased family. The docket is also the 2 citizens. Abilikuma Central, that's Odoko Police Church. The observation of the task force is that investigation revealed that the soldiers were interviewed and showed video of a man dressed in military uniform and reported to be the person who fired, resulting in the death of Abbas Ibrahim. But they maintain that the said soldier was not known to them. The case involved accused Collins Kweku, alias Kola, who was charged